Marcus Bear Thompson sat outside the diner with his motorcycle club, the Iron Knights at 52. He had been riding for 30 years, and leading the club for 10 people saw the leather vests, the tattoos, the rumbling bikes, and made assumptions. They crossed the street, clutched their purses tighter, hurried their children along. Bear was used to it. The Iron Knights were meeting for their monthly charity planning session. They had just finished organizing their annual toy drive for the Children's Hospital. We should do a fundraiser for the Veterans Home too, said Rachel. The club's treasurer, she was in her 40s, a former Army medic who now worked as a nurse. Good idea, Bear agreed, making a note. That's when the little girl appeared. She couldn't have been more than 7. Wearing a faded pink dress and mismatched shoes, her face was tear-streaked and she was breathing hard like she'd been running. She ran straight to Bear's table. "Please," she gasped. "Please help. They're hurting my mama." The entire club went silent. Bear knelt down to the girl's level. "Slow down." "Sweetheart," he said gently. "What's your name?" "Lily," she sobbed. "My mama's boyfriend is really mad and he's yelling and pushing her, and she told me to run and get help." Bear's jaw tightened. "Where's your mama?" "At our apartment," Lily said, pointing down the street. "Building 7, apartment 3B. Rachel was already on her phone calling 911. "Police are on their way," she said. "How long?" Bear asked. 5 minutes. Bear looked at his club members. They were all standing now. "Face is serious. Stay with her," Bear said to Rachel. Then he turned to his crew. "Let's go make some noise." They roared down the street on their motorcycles, sirens wailing behind them. The goal wasn't confrontation. It was presence. Sometimes the sound of 12 Harleys pulling up was enough to make people reconsider their choices. They parked outside Building 7. Engines rumbling. Neighbors appeared in windows, doors opened. Bear and 3 others approached the building entrance. Carefully, they could hear shouting. From the 3rd floor, Bear's phone rang. It was, "Rachel, police are 2 minutes out. They said do not engage. Just maintain presence." "Copy that," Bear replied. He positioned his crew in the hallway outside 3B. The shouting inside got louder. A woman screamed. Bear knocked. "Hard and loud. This is the Iron Knights Motorcycle Club," he called out. "The police are on their way. We're just here to make sure everyone's okay until they arrive." The shouting stopped. Footsteps approached the doorman's voice, angry and slurred. "Get out of here. This is none of your business." "Can't do that," Bear replied calmly. "Not until we know everyone's safe." "I said get out." "Sir, the police will be here in about 90 seconds. Bear continued in the same calm tone. "We're not here to fight. We're not here to judge. We're just here to make sure everyone's okay." There was silence, then the sound of a window opening. "He's going out the fire escape," one of Bear's crew called from outside moments later. Police arrived. The officers cleared the apartment and found Lily's mother. Shaken but physically unharmed, the boyfriend had fled and was picked up by police 2 blocks away. Bear and his crew stayed while the police took statements. Rachel arrived with Lily, who ran to her mother, the mother, whose name was Sarah, held her daughter tight after the police finished. Sarah approached Bear. "Thank you," she said, tears streaming down her face. "I don't know what would have happened if Lily hadn't found you." "You don't need to thank us," Bear said. "We're just glad you're both okay." "But you came," Sarah insisted. "Lily said she ran to the diner and asked bikers for help, and you came." "Of course we came," Rachel said, appearing beside Bear. "That's what people do when someone needs help." Sarah looked at the group of leather-clad bikers. "I'm sorry," she said. "If I'm honest, I would have been scared of you if I'd seen you on the street. I would have thought." "We know what you would have thought," Bear said gently. "Everyone does, but we're just people who ride motorcycles. Most of us are parents and grandparents ourselves." Rachel handed Sarah a card. "This is for a shelter that helps families in situations like yours," she said. "They have counseling, legal help, temporary housing. Everything you need." "I can't afford that," Sarah said. "It's free," Rachel explained. "Funded by donations, actually. Some of those donations come from our club." Sarah stared at the card, then at the bikers over the next few weeks. Bear and the Iron Knights helped Sarah and Lily move to a safer apartment. They donated furniture, helped with moving expenses, and connected Sarah with job opportunities. You don't have to do all this, Sarah protested. We know, Bear said. We want to. The club members took turns checking on Sarah and Lily, making sure they had groceries. Helping with repairs, teaching Lily to ride a bicycle. Why are you being so nice to us? Lily asked Bear one afternoon. They were in the park. Bear teaching her to balance on her new bike? Because that's what families do, Bear replied. And you and your mama are part of our family now. But we're not related, Lily pointed out. Family isn't just about blood, Bear explained. It's about showing up for people, about being there when they need help. 3 months after that frightening day, the Iron Knights held their annual charity barbecue. Sarah and Lily were there. Helping serve food, Sarah had a new job and a restraining order against her ex-boyfriend. Lily was thriving in a new school. I want to show you something, Sarah said to Bear. She pulled out her phone and showed him a photo. It was Lily, wearing a child-sized leather vest with honorary Iron Knight patches. She made me promise to ask if she could be an honorary member, Sarah said. She wants to be just like you when she grows up? Bear felt his throat tighten. She already is, he said. She was brave enough to ask for help when her mama needed it. That takes real courage. He looked at Sarah. You both do. Years later, when Lily was 16, she joined the Iron Knights Youth Outreach Program. She helped organize charity events and spoke at schools about asking for help when you need it. People think bikers are scary, she would say, but the scariest-looking people I ever met were the kindest. They taught me that you can't judge someone by their appearance. Bear, now in his 60s and passing the club leadership to the next generation, attended one of her talks afterward. Lily hugged him. Thank you for saving us, she said. We didn't save you, Bear corrected gently. You saved yourself by being brave enough to ask for help. We just answered when you called. That's what families do, Lily quoted back to him. Bear smiled. That's right. The Iron Knights continued their work toy drives, fundraisers, helping families in need, and whenever someone crossed the street to avoid them, whenever someone clutched their purse tighter, the club members just smiled. They knew the truth, that beneath the leather and the tattoos were teachers, nurses, veterans, parents, and grandparents, people who chose to spend their free time helping others, people who understood that true strength wasn't about looking tough. It was about showing up when someone needed help. That day outside the diner, a frightened little girl had run to the scariest-looking people she could find and discovered they had the biggest hearts. Sometimes the most unlikely heroes are the ones who prove what heroism really means, not fighting or violence, but presence and compassion, not confrontation, but community. The Iron Knights rode loud motorcycles and wore intimidating vests, but their greatest power was their willingness to help, to show up, to stay present, to make sure no one faced their fears alone, and in doing so, they changed not just lives, but hearts, including their own. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment about a time when someone defied your expectations with unexpected kindness.